Alright, here we go. Practice set number 4. Friendly reminders that I'm going to give all the answers right at the beginning here so that you can skip around in the videos where you want to. If you are doing this with me on a fake class on Schoology, then make sure that you ask any questions, extra questions that you have about these 15 questions that I'm going to answer. And then also think about a couple topics that maybe from this that are confusing to you that you'd like more help on. So remember, I'll do a couple videos of that at the end. Okay. So here we go. Number 1 is C like cat. 2 is K like kangaroo. 3 is E like elephant. 4 is G like giant. 5 is A like apple. 6 is G like giant. 7 is B like boy. 8 is K like kangaroo. 9 is C like cat. 10 is H like hippo. 11 is C like cat. 12 is J like jump. 13 is C like cat. 14 is H like hippo. And 15 is A like apple. Alright. I know that there's not normally a Geometry 1 and Geometry 2 class in school, so it's not like you learn these in different classes. You should have learned it over geometry. It's just split up into 2 tests because it's a lot of material. Alright, here we go. Grab my phone calculator and have it next to me. Remember, there are a lot of fun apps you can use. But the one that's most important is one that looks like this. It is a TI-83 Plus app that you can just grab. Of course, you have to use an actual TI-83 or TI-84 on the ACT test. Okay. So in the standard xy coordinate plane, what is the distance between the points 7, -3, and -8, 6? Well, those are both xy points, so I'm not actually going to make this perfect because I don't want it to be and don't care about it. So I don't know. Let's make that -8, and then over here is like 7, and then up here is 6. Down here is -3. Alright, so they're xy points, so 7, -3 is the first one right there, and then -8, 6 is over here. So we're trying to find the distance between these. And the easiest way to do that, unless you happen to have the distance formula memorized, and if you do, hey, great job. And if you don't, that sounds like normal, so just remember the Pythagorean Theorem, which is pretty much the only thing that they test you on this test, the geometry test. They just do Pythagorean Theorem a lot. Not all of these questions, but I mean, this comes up all the time. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A and b are the little sides here. Doesn't matter which one's which, and c is that big diagonal going across. All right, so to find out the distance A, oh, that's my cat. Sparkles. See, there she is. Being very, very annoying. Okay. So, A is the distance between -3 and 6, which is a distance of 9. And then B, which is my length going across, is -8 to 7, which is a length of 15. So that would be 9 squared plus 15 squared equals D squared, that distance between. So that's 81 and 225. And that makes 306. And then to get D by itself, you do the square root of both sides. So we got the square root of 306. Now, none of these are the square root of 306. So we have to do something which is like simplifying the radical, which is a fancy word for a square root. So you try to find a perfect square that goes into it, and it turns out that the square root of 9 times 34 is equal to 306. So I just split it up into 2 different, because 9 times 34 is 306, and the square root of 9 is 3 times the square root of 34. Okay, so that is the actual answer, which is C. Another way to do it is you could have taken the square root of 306 and like figured out what that decimal was in your calculator, and then just plug these in, and then C would have been that exact same number. So you wouldn't even have to know really how to do that. You could just compare. All right, number 2, 3 distinct lines all contained in a plane intersect each of the other 2 lines in exactly 1 point per line, which sounds very confusing, but really it's just saying that there's 3 lines and they all cross each other once. How many distinct regions are formed by the 3 lines? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 regions. Okay. That is definitely one where if you draw it, it is really fast, and if you just sit there and try to think about it, it is not very fast. So don't hesitate to draw all over your ACT on the scratch paper that they give you. That's important. All right, which of the following graphs is the solution to negative 2y minus 3 is less than 7? Okay, so I'm going to solve this like a normal equation, but if I multiply or divide by a negative number, I have to make sure to flip the inequality. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. I get negative 2y is less than 10. And then since this is negative 2 times y, I'm going to divide by negative 2, which is the opposite thing. So that's y is now greater than. Remember, if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you flip the sign. 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. So it is greater than negative 5. That means it's to the right of negative 5. Now, both 2 and 5 here, these choices, have arrows going to the right of negative 5. So all you really have to think about is the fact that it's not an equals to. If this was like if it was greater than or equal to, that would be a closed dot, but this is an open dot because it's just greater than, which implies that it's not negative 5, but everything to the right of it. So I guess that's choice 5, which is E. Number 4, which of the following graphs is the solution to this one? Okay, so this one, anytime you have an absolute value equation, you have to write 2 equations. So you basically say, okay, that stuff, the stuff on the inside, 2x minus 7 is greater than 5. That's one equation it could be. Or the stuff inside could actually be less than negative 5. Feels weird to be teaching all this stuff so fast, because I know I'm not giving you very good explanations, but this is how you do all the problems. So if you are confused about these, then make sure that you ask for further explanations. So plus 7 plus 7, then you end up with 2x is greater than 12, divide by 2. Don't have to switch the sign because it's not negative. Over here I'm also going to add 7. That's 2x is less than 2, divide by 2, x is less than 1. Alright, so my answer is that x is less than 1 and greater than 6. They're all open circles, so that's good. Less than 1 means to the left of 1 and to the right of 6. That's this one, which is G. Remember, you are in control of your own computer or laptop or phone, tablet, whatever device you're watching this on. So you can pause anytime and check out that question for a little bit longer. All right. Which of the following graphs is the solution to this one? Now, this is another way to write an inequality. It's kind of like writing 2 inequalities at once, but you can solve it all at once, which is kind of fun. So we're trying to get the x by itself in the middle. So to get it by itself, I'm going to add 12. But when I add 12, I'm going to add 12 to each part here on every side of the inequality. So that's 6 is less than 2x is less than what, 30? Okay, now I've got that, but the x still isn't by itself, so I'm going to divide by 2 on all the parts. So that's 3 is less than x is less than 15. All right, not solid circles, because it's not equals to, so I can already say that these ones are out. And then I'm going in between 3 and 15, which looks like option 1A. All right. I think that my